Good evening and welcome to the Capitol Center here on the campus of Capital University. I'm Gene Bloomfield with you tonight, and it's Wooster in town for the season opener as the Comets take the court for the first time here with some fans in the building for the first time in over a year, and taking on an NCAC school, fellow Ohio school over in Wooster. We thank you for joining us tonight, and very excited to see what this team can bring to the table. Capitol's bringing back a lot of key players from their last few years. Among them would probably be Emma Burns and Brooke Amert as the two to keep an eye out for. They're actually the two leading scorers from last year's team. Both will be seniors this year, and got one interior, one exterior player there. So that's nice to have some depth inside and outside. And some other key players returning. Kaylee Cyphers made a big impact as the big center for them last year. Erica Linder, the six-man, probably will be in the starting lineup, I would think, tonight, but we'll see if they keep her off the bench in that role. And some other veteran returners include Maddie Dugood, Gabby Ledbetter, Demi Brewer, and Carrie Wyman, Maddie Reese as well. Erin Burns, the sister of Emma Burns, on the roster as well. We saw her a little bit at the start of last season. So there's some interesting players to talk about on this team, and we'll obviously get to all of them as we progress through the season. In the 2020 season, if you want to call freshmen that can come in and make an impact, as well as some juniors and seniors that are coming back to this team as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of rotations we see from Coach Jeffers early in the season, if they continue to work on a bunch of different players into the lineup, or if they're going to stick with a core here early on. I would imagine we'll see a lot of different shuffling of lineups here to try to find the best combination that works for this young team early in the season. On the other side, the Worcester Fighting Scots, the NCAC did not have a season last year, so they did play, but not well. 0-8 record last year, and they kind of just played a scattered schedule just to try to get some games in, essentially, is my understanding of it. Their leading scorer from last year's team, Mariah Janosko, had 10 points per game. She's no longer on the team. And they also lost their fourth leading scorer in Sarah Marion. So the key players returning for Worcester include Harley Holloway, who had 8.9 points per game last year, as well as Masani Francis. She was this third leading scorer with 8.4 points per game. Krista Inglis, Alyssa Christ, Jenna Stanton, and others returning as kind of role players for this team. So it'll be really interesting to see what Worcester looks like. They will be searching technically for their first win since the year 2019. So it's going to be a while for them to hopefully get back on the train, and hopefully that night is not tonight, as Capital will hopefully walk away with the victory here in this season opener. We've got about 5.5 minutes until tip-off, so we will step aside and get through our pregame situation here, and then come back with the starting lineups and opening tip here from the Capitol Center. It is Worcester and Capital. Tip off in about 5 minutes here from the campus of Capital University. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Capitol Center. If you're just joining us, Wooster taking on the Capitol Comets tonight in the season opener for the women's basketball team. We thank you for joining us, as always, tonight. Let's get to our starting lineups first for the college. And rounding out the starting five is the center, sophomore 6'1" out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Maddie Duguid. Again, for Wooster, it is Francis, Holloway, Christ, Stanton, and English. For Capitol, it's Murphy, Burns, Almert, Duguid, and Flock. So, first question answered there. Was wondering if we would see Erica Linder come off the bench. As we saw last year, she was kind of that sixth man for them, and that's exactly the case. As she is not in the starting lineup today, I'm sure she'll play starter minutes, but she will come off the bench as a little bit of a spark plug for this Capitol offense. Two freshmen starting for Capitol as well, and Lainey Murphy and Nicole Flock, both in the backcourt, 5'6" for both of them. I'm sorry, Murphy's listed at 5'8". So we'll see how they do in their debut as well. Opening tip between Krista English and Maddie Duguid, and it is won by Wooster. We are underway from the Capitol Center. Wooster moving from left to right in the black uniforms. Capitol in their home whites, and Wooster will start with it on the right wing now. Stanton has it, passes off to Holloway, who drives, kick out. And now it's Francis. Francis resets the play here. 10 on the shot clock for Wooster. She drives right and hops through the lane. Traveling is called. And a turnover in the first possession for Wooster. Their leading scorer, Harley Holloway, from last year, 8.9 points per game in 8 games played last season. Masani Francis, 8.4. So their strength is in their backcourt. Burns, the leading scorer for Capitol, 9.7 points per game last year. She made 56% of her threes as well. Obviously, they want to get her open from outside. Pass to the top of the key with Murphy. She drives left, kick out to Flock. Extra pass to Brooke Almert for three. And she left it short. Holloway gets the rebound, and Holloway heads up court, defended by Murphy. And out of bounds, Capitol looks like they have possession, and they do. So 1 minute in, no score, but 2 turnovers for Capitol. And their defense, I should say, forcing 2 turnovers. Burns will bring it up this time. It's Almert at the top of the key again. Brooke passes to her left. Flock now down to Duguid. Duguid, nice post move. Unable to get the roll. And Holloway gets the rebound. Francis will take it up court, passes off to the right wing with Stanton. Good pace to this game early on, but it's right there with a three-pointer from Holloway. 2 rebounds and 3 points in the first minute and a half from her. And Worcester's on the board first. They lead 3-0. Almert to Burns, a little behind her, but it is received. Now Emma drives left, kick out, 3-ball from Flock. It's good. And the freshman makes her first shot attempt at the collegiate level. Capitol employing a little bit of a three-quarters court man defense here. And Holloway goes right through it and drops it into the post for an easy bucket, scored by English. 5-3. Cap turning up the pace, and Almert is fouled as English almost had the bucket and then the block on this side. So Brooke Almert will head to the free throw line last year. She was an 82% free throw shooter. Second leading scorer on the team, 8.6 points per game. First free throw is no good. Hard to judge Flock based on one shot, but if she can be an outside threat, that would really open up some things for Burns as well. So good start for Cap offensively and defensively, forcing some turnovers. They almost get another one here. They do trail 5-4. Wooster has scored on their last 2 possessions after the 2 turnovers to start the game. Driving right, kick out to Francis for 3 this time, and she knocks it down. Wooster last season shot just 22% from 3, including Francis, who shot 23%, and Holloway, who shot 28%, but they both make their first shots in this one. Duguid not going to get a call in the paint, and a ball out of bounds goes to Wooster. 8-4, the Fighting Scots in front. And again, they've scored on 3 straight possessions now. Full court pressure here from Flock. Francis goes right by into Dugood. Tried to get a foul call, did not. And Dugood does a nice job defensively to stay straight up. Now Flock in transition is fouled by Stanton. So 2 free throws coming for the young freshman Nicole Flock. Still waiting for her to get the ball here, and now Flock does. Makes the free throw. Don't know how accurate this is, but according to her recruiting page, a 63% free throw shooter last year. She averaged 11 points per game. And she knocks down both free throws here. So 8-6, and now a steal from Flock. Passes off to Burns, and Burns gets the layup to go. Francis tried to draw a charge, but no call from the official. They play on, and Capital steals 4 points to tie this game up. Francis now to the left wing. Down screen, and the ball goes up top to Holloway. She drives through the paint, has some space, bounces it off the backboard and in, and this is turning into a little bit of a shootout now. 10-8, 3.5 minutes in. Wooster still leading. Burns passes off to Flock again. Flock, baseline pass stolen away. Nice read on that by Stanton. And Stanton heads up the court with it now. Pass to the outside wing, top of the key. They're going to try the left side now. A lot of the activity has been on this near side of the court. A steal for Capital, and really just out of sync offensively, that sequence from Wooster. Capital has a chance to tie or take the lead. Murphy goes to Dugood, and Maddie's got her first basket. (10-10). Francis with the handoff over to Christ. Back now to the top of the key to Stanton, who walks into a jump shot and misses everything out of bounds. First subs of the game on each side, one apiece. Demi Brewer will check in for Capital. She's a junior guard out of Plain City, Ohio. And she'll run point for this attack now from Capital. Replaces Flock, who had a really good first 4 minutes at the collegiate level. Maya Dozier also checking in on the other side for Wooster. Brewer passes off Burns. Now Amert looks inside to Dugood. She's posting up and trying to get it to her. They do. Now Dugood works through a double team, and the scoop layup, she's fouled. And they have been trying to get Dugood going early in this contest. I believe that's her 4th shot attempt already. Yeah, she's 1 for 3 with a rebound and a steal to this point early on. First free throw is good. Dugood played about 17 minutes a game last year. She averaged 4.4 points per game, was a perfect 6 for 6 at the free throw line, 1 for 2 on that trip. But Capital has their first lead of the game now, as they lead 11-10 midway through the first quarter. Holloway on the drive again, left that one short. Rebound by Moore. Murphy now to Brewer, inside to Dugood. Dugood switch pass to Burns for 3. It's good. Automatic outside, Emma Burns. And she starts the season off right with a 3-pointer from outside, and it is now a 14-10 lead. Burns with 5 for Capital. Five apiece for her and Flock in the early going. A lot of production from that backcourt. Here's a 3 ball the other way to answer, no good. Off back iron, the shot taken by Alyssa Christ. Brewer with an athletic catch on that, and then almost taken away by Wooster. Kind of a sloppy pass. Dozier knocked it out of bounds. Kaylee Cyphers will check in now. Cyphers checks in for Duguid. Cyphers has a little bit of an outside game to her kind of difference from Duguid. Duguid, for instance, shot just 2 3-pointers last year, didn't make either. Cyphers was 8 for 23 and is actually a long-range stretch 5 here. She can get it done inside as well. Amert left it short, and here's Cyphers cleaning up the rebound. She's no good on the attempt. Then Brewer gets blocked, and coming away with it is Wooster. This is Melissa Bircher. She checked in when Cyphers did as well. Riley Thor is also checked in at center for Wooster. Nicole Flock back in, and she replaces Amert. So they're going to go a little bit on the smaller side here with probably, I guess, Lainey Murphy playing the 4. Man defense still from Capital, leading 14-10, and a nice jump shot from Maya Dosher, the freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Cuts the lead in half to 2. Quickly in transition, Flock missing on this side. And now Wooster pushes numbers the other way. Brewer picks the pocket. Gets it up to Emma Burns. Layup good. And Burns has 7. Excellent find from Brewer to get the ball, secure it, and then make the pass. And it's back to a 4-point lead now. Comets in front 16-12. On the right wing. This is Bircher. She now goes to the top of the key and knocks down a tough jump shot. Good defense there, not much you can do. 16-14 our score. A high-scoring first quarter here at the Capitol Center. Brewer dribbled it off her leg. That's got to be out of bounds. There's the call. Maddie Reese checking in now for Capitol, replacing Lainey Murphy. Now going real small. Flock at 5'6" is the second tallest player on the floor for Capitol right now. Brewer guarding the point guard. Dosher trips. No foul called. Both teams in an okay situation from a foul bonus situation. A 3-ball from Bircher, no good. Excellent rebound from Dosher. Tried the swing pass, it did not work, but Wooster was able to secure the loose ball. A layup now short. And the putback. Cyphers looked like she got the block, but she actually fouled Riley Thor. A lot of shots in that sequence from Wooster, and none of them went down, but they do get 2 free throws out of it. And this is now Riley Thor, who played about 8 minutes a game last year for Wooster, averaged 1.3 points per game. She was 1 for 3 from the free throw line in those 8 games last year, makes the first. So again, it's Burns, Flock, Brewer, Reese, and Cyphers in there for Capitol. Wooster with Chris, Stanton, Bircher, Dosher, and Thor. And now Stanton is out, and replacing her is the starter Harley Holloway. Excuse me. We've got a tie game with 2:08 remaining in the first quarter, 16 apiece. Burns at the top of the key. A foul is called against Wooster, and that's Holloway. Picks up her first. Stanton, who left the game there for Wooster, picks up her second foul earlier this quarter, so she has 2. No other player with 2. Burns from outside, 3-ball. Oh, it's almost in there, spun out on her. Jump ball, that should be Capitol's possession as Wooster won the opening tip. Very even statistically, just kind of looking over some of the stats here. Largest lead for either team has been 4 points. Wooster shooting 6 for 12, Capitol 5 for 13. Cap is also 2 of 5 from 3, Wooster 2 of 4. Pass into Burns. She leads all scorers, and she's got another bucket here. Emma Burns. That's now 9 points for Emma. 18-16 lead for Capitol. Wooster on the other end trying to answer once more. Ball's poked away by Reese. Reese unable to secure it, and it Turns into an air ball thrown up by Dosher. Amert and Aaron Burns checking back in now. Cyphers is out, and Emma Burns is out, so the younger sister, Aaron, comes in for Emma. Passes off to the top of the key to Reese. Reese drives in, nice pass to Amert, and she gets the finish. 2016 Capital Amert with the basket, and that is her first bucket of the year, up to 3 points now. Dosher turning it the other way for Wooster. Largest lead of the day has been 4 for either side. That's where it currently sits for Capital. And getting to the free throw line is Alyssa Christ. So kind of a make-it-take-it situation. If they can get a bucket here, they get the screen at the top of the key. 9 on the shot clock now. A 3 ball from outside. It's a little short. Brewer gets the rebound. Cap's got some time. 3 seconds. Thrown up ahead and out of bounds. And that'll be the end of the quarter. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass from Brewer. But 9 points from Emma Burns and 5 from Brooke Amert and Nicole Flock, the freshman. And Cap turns this into a 22-17 lead as we head into quarter number 2. We'll be right back. Starting 5 will take the floor for Capital with Murphy, Burns, Amert, Dugood, and Flock. 22-17 lead for Capital. They shot 50% from the field in the first, 8 of 16. Worcester was 6 of 14, 42.9%. Both teams shot 2 of 4 from 3. Cap 4 of 6 at the line. Worcester 3 for 4. Cap won the rebounding battle 9-8, including 3-2 on the offensive glass, 6-6 on defensive glass. We had 1 lead change, 4 ties, and Cap spent 4 minutes plus with the lead and now have their largest lead of the ball game at 5 as we start the second quarter. 7 assists for Capital as well on their 8 baskets. That's good to see. Sharing the basketball, and Worcester comes up empty in that possession. So they had the possession at the end of the half, or end of the quarter, I should say, and then the possession here at the start of quarter number 2, and unable to come up with points in either of those 2 opportunities. And now Cap has a chance to stretch this to a 3-possession lead. Burns drops it into Dugood, back out to Burns. Burns now to Flock on the wing. Flock drives left side, layup! That's going to be a blocking foul called against Worcester. Holloway picks up her second foul, which is also of note. And Flock for the 3-point play. The old school way. Misses. Rebound. Dugood. The offensive rebounds. And Cap will keep possession after a jump ball. Flock will pass it in.
Top of the key for Murphy. She takes a three. No good off back iron. Rebound collected by Francis. Francis takes off with it. Pass to Holloway. She dribbled it out of bounds. Another turnover for Wooster. That's now the 6th turnover for Wooster. Interesting to note as well to this point, of the 24 points scored for Capital, all of them have come from the 5 on the court, the starting 5. Amert kick out to Flock from the left elbow, no good. Rebound collected by Holloway. Cap also with 7 fast break points and 6 points off turnovers. Here's another steal, and this is going to be another fast break bucket. Easy layup off the glass and in from Lainey Murphy. And now Cap leads by 7, 26-19. I think they may have called that English jump shot a 2 and not a 3. It was originally statted as a 3. I called it a 3, but I think we're moving forward with it as a 2. Keep an eye on that. Armour gets the rebound. 26-19, Capital. Chance to stretch it to double figures here. Murphy thought about a heat check. We'll pass it off to Amert instead. Amert now to Burns on the left wing. Burns has the whole baseline. If she wants it, she takes it. Layup no good. Rebound by Amert. Kick out. Murphy knocks it down. Capital stretches it to 9, 28-19. Timeout, Wooster. We'll be right back. It's a quick 30-second timeout from Wooster. They trail 28-19. Capital kind of in control now. The early going, it was Wooster who got off to the hot start, but since then Capital's been able to take advantage. Wooster hasn't made a field goal in the last 2 minutes, and they're just 1 for their last 7 shooting from outside. Francis out of the timeout, gets the tough layup to go. Francis now with 5 points, ends the drought, and cuts the lead to 7. Cap almost throws it away. Flock recovers, gets it into the corner. Dugood now in the post on the low block. Amert was on the other block. Now she moves to the left elbow to help out Dugood. 12 seconds to shoot here. Burns drives, layup, good. That's 11 for Emma. She leads all scorers and continues the great start. She averaged 9.7 a game last season alone. She's already at 11. It's going to be a lot of Emma Burns scoring. Has a decent shot at OAC Player of the Year. She's definitely one of the front runners, I would say. And she can really fill up the stat sheet with the points department particularly. Wild ball here, loose scramble, and it's going to be Capital basketball. I say hesitantly. Bircher and Thor check back in. For Cap, it's Reese and Brewer. So while we mentioned Erica Linder as a returning player, I believe I see her down there actually in street clothes. She will not be playing in tonight's game. Probably part of the reason we saw 2 freshmen in the lineup. So Linder will have to wait to make her season debut. She was the 3rd leading scorer from last year's team at 8.3 points per game. Dugood looked like she had a walk-in layup. Instead, she's fouled by Kritz. Obviously Capital played against Ohio in an exhibition game for men's. They also played against Miami, Ohio lost both of those games, not surprisingly, to D1 schools. Obviously, great experience there on the road. And then they got a first win against Ohio Wesleyan, who's a pretty good team out of the NCAC on the men's side. So congrats to Capital last night picking up their first victory at Branch Rickey Arena, winning 61-56. Alex Eink led all scorers with 11. Tyler Schreck had 19 rebounds in the game with 9 points, playing 35 minutes for the Comets, who are 1-0 on the short season for men's. And they play again on Friday at Westminster and on Saturday against Teal College as part of the Buzz Riddle Classic. So keep an eye on that this weekend. Both teams come up empty their last two possessions here. 4:46 until the halftime break. Capital leads by 10. Wooster, after that timeout, has kind of settled back in. No good on the jump shot there, and at least keeping this at an attainable game. But now Duguid gets behind the defense. Brewer looked up top, saw it, and Demi Brewer with another nice pass. Her second assist. That's now 9 assists for Capital in the game. They've only made 13 shots. And not only do they have 9 assists, but they have 9 assists from 8 different players, which is fantastic sharing of the basketball. Francis from 3, no good. And the rebound collected. Caps on a 5-0 run in the last 2 minutes, a 9-2 run in the last 4:13. Brewer gets the bucket to go, make it 11-2 run in the last about 4.5 minutes. And they've really opened this thing up now, 35-21. 4 from their last 5 from the field. And Brewer, after the nice pass on the run out earlier, gets the bucket here. That's her first points on the day. Welcome back to the Capitol Center. 2:15 to play. Worcester inbounding from under their own basket. And kind of looked shaky there, but they do get it in. And across the timeline, pass goes to Dosher. Passed off to the left. 4 starters for Worcester with at least 2 fouls in this game. So they're relying a lot on their second unit right now. And a shot left short by the last starter, Kurtz. Brewer in transition. That's a nice move. A little windmill action on the layup. And Brewer spins it in. That is now a 9-0 run for Capital. And the run's continuing at this point. Three ball from outside. Kritz, no good. Rebound collected by Capital. 1 for the last 11 from the field are the Fighting Scots. Brewer looks off the defender. Layup, no good. Reese gets the rebound. Now Reese tries a scoop layup from the left side, no good. He did a little bit of spin on it. And it's collected by Berkshire the other way. 1 minute to play, till the second half. 37-21 lead for Capital on the left wing. 15 on the shot clock. Handoff to Berkshire. Now she takes the long 2 and knocks it down. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Capital if they go quick. 42 seconds on the game clock. Looks like they'll just look for their best shot. Brewer looked inside to Flock. Now kicks out. Aaron Burns for 3. Left it short and out of play. Worcester can hold for the last shot. Moore comes out. That is Reese who comes out. And back in is Murphy. In terms of the foul situation for Capital, by the way, no one with more than 1. So everybody is in good shape on the Capital side of things. Good hard defense here from Murphy, trying to get a takeaway on Holloway. Pressuring the basketball in the last 15 seconds of the half. 2 points in the last 6 minutes plus for Wooster. Trying to end on a good note. Right wing 3 ball, no good. Rebound, that one's going to be late. So the basket is no good. Waved off. Bircher misses the first 3. Does get the follow-up, but after time expired. And Capital with a successful second quarter, mainly, to stretch this lead out. A 15-6 quarter there for the Comets. And they lead 37-23. We'll step away 15 and come back for second half action here from the Capital Center. We'll be right back.
Maddie Dugood, 5 from Amert, and 4 apiece from Murphy and Brewer, who definitely had the strength off the bench. 4 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal with 2 assists, plus 10 for Demi Brewer in 11 minutes on the floor. She definitely kind of gave this team some depth here in that second unit. For Capitals starting 5, though, they've been the strength today, scoring all but those 4 points from Brewer in the first half. 5 points from Asani Francis and 5 from Harley Holloway the other way. Melissa Bircher has 4 points off the bench. Not a whole lot to talk about, though, for Wooster there. They spent only 2 minutes and 17 seconds ahead in that first half. Capitals spent 14 minutes and 43 seconds with the lead, and in the turnovers, they have 8 points off turnovers. Wooster has just 4. 11 fast break points for Capital to 0 for Wooster. And those are some of the big areas of difference between these two teams. And Emma Burns continues the great start to her 2021-2022 campaign with a deep 3. Cap leads by 17. Burns now with 14. And she averaged just 9 a game last year. Foul called against Wooster, and the foul situation for them continues to be a problem. They have Stanton and Francis with 3, English and Holloway with 2. Kritz just picked up her first. Emma Burns brings it up the floor, 40-23 lead. As the offense continues to be really fluid here in this one and doing a nice job of moving the basketball around. They had 10 assists, or 10 three-pointer. We'll finish that thought in a second here. Rebound collected. Of the 15 shots, 10 assists for Capital. So 66% of their buckets, they had an assist. And 8 different players picked up an assist. Pass on the left elbow to English. Holloway able to save it. Holloway looking for help now. Leads Wooster with 7 points. Passes off to Kurtz. Back to the top of the key. Stanton. Handoff to Francis. Francis has an open shooter to her left, but goes to the right. It's Holloway. She's the hot hand, but she can't get this one to go. And it's out of bounds off of English. 44-27 remains the score. Bounce pass to Dugood on the left block. Now to the right block goes Dugood. Amert was open, but the kick out top of the key, that'll work too. Burns from 3, no good, but that's a great looking shot from a high scoring area for her. And Burns misses the 3. She's 2 for 4 now from outside. Again, last year she shot 56% from 3. It's ridiculous numbers. Again, it is a small sample of 11 games, but still, you shoot 56% from 3 over 11 games, knock down 19 of them. That's good, no matter how many games are involved there. Francis with a quick shot on this side, no good. Dugood with the rebound. And she'll leave it behind for Amert. Now Burns will take it across the timeline. And a steal. Francis just looked like the ball was thrown right to her. A mistake by Murphy. Pass to Francis in the corner for 3. Misses everything. Rebound, Wooster. No reset of the shot clock here, so still just 12 to shoot. Into the corner, and a timeout called by Wooster. 44-27, 5:46 remaining. We'll be right back.
44-27, a quick timeout here from Wooster, who will inbound from under their offensive bucket here, trying to get a quick play set up with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Only 4 to work with now. They're going to have to shoot this soon. They get it off. Holloway gets the 3. Well, good job not panicking, I guess, for Wooster. And the Fighting Scots get a 3 back. Tough layup from under the basket from Flock there. She got a little too deep. Brewer checks in, by the way, for Capital on that last timeout. A basket here now from Holloway. She's got 12 and is starting to heat up. 5 of 7 shooting, 2 threes, and just has Burns ahead of her on the game in terms of points scored. Three ball from Murphy, no good. And the rebound collected by English. Worcester starting to claw back into this thing, down by just 12 now. I mean, just 12, I guess, is relative, but they've been cutting into this lead, chipping away at it, and they've got it down to 10 now on the basket here for Melissa Bircher. Now with 6 points off the bench. Timeout called by Coach Jeffers. It's a full timeout, and she'll talk things over as Capital has seen their lead drip down to just 10. We'll be right back. .435 to play. Capital's lead is down to 10, 44-34. A nice run put together by Worcester, a 7-0 run as Capital hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes. Murphy, not trying to force it, gets to Flock. 3-ball Burns, no, she fakes it. Drives right instead, layup is good from Emma Burns. So the senior steps up and gets the basket there to put Cap back in front by 12. Across the timeline, Stanton has it. Left wing. Right wing now. Top of the key, driving left elbow. Crits into traffic. Thor has it now. Thor from 3. No good. Offensive putback, though. And Stanton puts it back in for Worcester, who's hanging around, still down by just 10. Now a turnover. Nope, that's poked out of bounds by Worcester. Brewers a little shaken up, but looks okay. Duguid checks in for Capital, as does Maddie Reese. Worcester's last win came against Oberlin College back on February 19th of 2020. So it has been quite a while since they've had a victory, over a year and a half. Trying to turn that around here tonight. The 0-8 last year. I'm not sure how much it really counts. They played kind of exhibition games. They played 2 against Denison, 2 against Wittenberg, 2 against Ohio Wesleyan, and 2 against Hiram. A lot of the NCAC didn't even participate last year. So it's kind of just a way to throw some games on the schedule for that conference. Obviously, the OAC played a full session as Reese gets the nice run out again from Brewer. She's really been starting those fast break opportunities for Cap. And Brewer gets Reese going off the bench. Cap up by 12 again and ends the scoring drought. Those players, all the way that had 3 fouls for Wooster, still sitting there. So they were able to avoid foul trouble here in this third quarter and work themselves back into the game. But an offensive foul is called against Thor there from Wooster. That is their third. Or is that their second? Have they updated already? Yeah, they did already. So 2 fouls in the quarter for Wooster. Cap has committed 2 fouls the entire game. Make it 4, sorry. They've committed 4 the entire game. But they have not been in foul trouble whatsoever. Duguid misses the floater there from the low right block. 2:15 to play, third quarter action, 48-36. Worcester has been trailing for the majority of this game, the heavy majority of it. After getting off to a quick start, they haven't led since it was 10-8. Worcester will keep possession on the jump ball here. Just 12 to shoot now. Holloway and Francis back in. Holloway has 12 of the 36 for Worcester. She's been huge for them. And Burns has the defensive assignment on her. Francis drives in, and it's out of bounds off of Capital as Murphy got a hand in there. And now Murphy's matching up man-to-man with Holloway. Good shot from Thor out of the baseline pass from under the basket after the resumption of play. 48-38. Reese inside Duguid, outside 3-ball. Murphy, no good. Brewer fights for the rebound, but Holloway's got it. Holloway now to the other side of the court with Francis on the near side. Francis drives into Murphy, kicks it back out. Holloway drives to the free throw line, kick out to the right wing, and they'll slow things down. Worcester gets into their set, down by 10. This is the closest they've been since halftime. Drive, left-handed layup is good from Dosher. And Worcester's within 8. They trailed by 14 at the half, remember. And a strong third quarter now, leading 17-11 in the quarter, thrown away by Brewer. 1:04 to play. It could be a 2-possession game if a basket is scored here. Francis works against Burns. Cap kind of using a 2-3 zone look, kind of a matchup zone. Murphy follows Holloway to the basket, and they showed that zone look, but actually stuck with man-to-man. They had been running kind of a zone hybrid the last few possessions. Now looks like they've gone back to their man-to-man defense. Each team will have one more possession here in the quarter. Brewer calls for the screen, goes right, hop around the defender, and a missed basket as Dosher gets it, runs up the floor, and just hits the track. Dosher cuts it to a 6-point game. 13 seconds, and Burns will slow it down for the last shot. Burns drives into the paint, got away with a travel, misses the shot. Dosher's got it, a 3-pointer at the buzzer, no good. It was on line but short. And just like that, it's a 6-point game. Worcester's back in this thing, a strong third quarter. They outscore Capital 19-11, their highest scoring quarter of the day. And we have 10 minutes to decide this one with a 48-42 lead for Capital. Starting 5 will be back in there when we're back at the Capital Center. 10 minutes to decide the season opener here for Capital. They lead 48-42. They've led throughout, but a strong third quarter from Wooster has cut this thing down to just a 6-point lead to start the quarter. Reese on the drive. No good on the layup. Burns is fighting for it. Make that flock, but the rebound goes to Wooster. Another 3-minute scoreless drought. Fortunately, Wooster throws it away. Capital is 1 for their last 6 from the field, 1 for their last 8 from 3, and they haven't scored in 3 minutes and 25 seconds entering the quarter. Flock, Burns. You lead a bucket, that's the person to turn to. She has 16 points, leading all scorers. Burns has it on the weak side, doesn't have it, I should say, is open on the weak side. They haven't looked her way yet. Amert throws it away after losing possession down low. That is the 9th turnover for Capital. Worcester has 10, and Worcester empties the bench by putting their starters back in. Excellent job by Worcester's second unit, and they have fought this thing back down to 6. Bircher stays out there. The rest members of the starting 5. Francis on the right elbow. Pass off to Bircher. Bircher pass inside. Amert gets in front of the passing lane now. Gives it to Burns, who cuts to the basket. Layup's good. Amert to Burns. 50-42. 18 points for the senior Burns. And she's done it on 8 of 13 shooting. Very efficient. Pass into the corner now for Francis. Gets the screen from English. Tough floater. That's an excellent hook shot from Francis. Pass up court to Amert. Cap pushing the tempo. Amert's fouled. We'll see who this is on, because there's a couple with 3 out there. It's going to go against Kritz. That's just her second. So Holloway kind of started everything there for Worcester in terms of the comeback. The second unit, led mostly by Dosher and Bircher, got them back into it as well further, and then they go to the starting 5 but leave Holloway out of it. Holloway's coming back now. She has 12 points. That leads all scorers for Worcester. 2 free throws good from Amert. She's up to 9 points now. Capital, in terms of the sharing of the basketball that we've been talking about, 15 assists now on 21 baskets. And they've had 8 different players pick up an assist in this game. 9 players have played the game for Capital. Francis gets through the trap, goes into the paint, flying towards the basket, throws up a shot, no good. Rebound, pinballing around, off of Capital. Worcester will get organized and ready for play. Francis, pass to English into traffic. Murphy comes away with it. Amert had the tip. It goes to Burns. Burns, jump stop, switching courts. Wow, that was actually Flock throwing it to Burns. I was going to say, very uncharacteristic pass for Burns. Makes more sense that it came from the freshman. Amert to Reese, cutting, and Reese gets it off the backboard and in. Unselfish play by Amert to feed to Reese, who has 4 points. And every Cap player that's played in double-figure minutes has at least 4 points in this game. Third assist for Amert. Cap's back up by 10. It feels a little bit better, but still 7.5 minutes left to play in this one, and anything can happen. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Full timeout called by Worcester. Welcome back to the Capitol Center. Trying to hang into this ball game here is Wooster. Comes out of the timeout, misses a three. They're now 1 for their last 11 from 3. Cap can start to slow the pace down in this one now. Reese gives it off to Flock. Murphy, Burns, and Amert, the other 5 on the floor. Deep 3 from Burns. It's about halfway down and didn't drop. Worcester will stay within 10. They have their starting 5 out there now. Francis with it in the corner. Coming around the screen is Crits. They go inside instead. It's knocked out of bounds by Cap. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Francis pass in English to Holloway. Holloway is called for the charge. That's her 3rd now. Her 4th turnover as well. Take the good with the bad as she has had 12 points as well. Maddie Dugood checks back in, replacing Amert. Cap stays small. There's not a lot of size on the other side from Worcester either, so it kind of makes sense to go with the 4 kind of guard/wing players with Burns, Reese, Murphy, and Flock joining Dugood out there. And Dugood and Amert have kind of just been rotating at the 5. We haven't seen much from Cyphers other than the 7 minutes early on. That's a charge. Nope, they call a block. That is now Holloway's 4th. I don't know. Checking in is to replace her is now Dosher. And Maya Dosher. See how long they keep Holloway out. You got to keep her for the final stretch, but there might not be a game for her to come back into, and that's the thing. Managing 4 fouls. When is too early to put her back in? Burns with this next free throw can get to 20 on the day. And there it is. So Burns 20 on 8 of 14 shooting. 29 minutes played. 2 assists, a rebound, and 20 points for Emma, who again is going to compete for a scoring title in the OAC this year. I guarantee that. Crits over to now Dosher. And a foul is called against Capital. That's just their 6th foul. Murphy picks up her 1st. Make it her 2nd, actually. Thor checking in now for English. Every player for Worcester who's come in, they've had 8 in their rotation. Everyone's played at least 15 minutes. Francis jump shot, no good. Rebound collected by Crits. Back to Francis. Francis looks inside. Pulls it back behind the back dribble now to Kurtz. Back to Stanton into the left corner. Docher back to the right wing. Stanton, handoff for Francis. Francis with 5 to shoot. Gets a screen from Thor. Long 2. Make that a pass to Thor. Nice find. Thor can't get it to go. It doesn't hit anything, including doesn't hit the rim. Hits the backboard. But it doesn't reset the shot clock. Capital gets the rebound anyway. They're on possession now with a 12-point lead. 5.5 minutes left to go. Let's throw an exclamation point on this thing. Murphy, jab step right. Steps into a step back 3. No good. It was halfway down. Francis gets the rebound. Cap is on a 6-0 run as Worcester has not scored in over 3 minutes. Not the time to go Colt. 5 minutes left to play in the game. It is 56-44. Francis kick out 3 ball. Thor, no good. Heavy off back iron. And we've got a rebound. Murphy, jump ball. It's going to stay with Worcester. At least flips the arrow. You always want the arrow in your favor at the end. So Cap will have that, but Worcester gets the extra possession now. Call it an offensive rebound, 56-44. Thor. He's swinging all the way around to the top of your screen to Francis. Drives into the paint. Francis around Dugood. No good. Nice job by Maddie to step up and take on the defender there. Or step up as the defender and take on the penetrating player in Francis. Cap will be using up the clock here. Burns for three. That's good. Well, they wanted to use up the clock, but then Burns was wide open. And Emma knocks it down. 23 points for Emma Burns. And the seniors off to a great start here this year. Do good with kind of a block/steal there. Thrown away by Capital in transition. Or 20 twice as a freshman, so tonight is a career high for Burns with 23. Her fifth time reaching the 20-point plateau. And she put an exclamation point on this fourth quarter, putting the team back up by now 15 after the layup from Dugood. Quietly, Maddie Dugood has grinded away a nice game with 8 points and 6 rebounds and a block and a steal. We'll have a full stat update for you after the game as part of our post-game show. Capital leading right now 61-46. We'll be right back. Timeout, Wooster. (61-47). At the free throw line is Francis. 14-point lead for Cap. Holloway and English check back in, so the starting five is out there for Worcester. Trying to get one last push here. Free throw's good from Francis. Capital needs to protect the basketball, close this ball game out. They have Amert and Dugood out there together, interestingly, with Brewer, Murphy, and Burns. Burns has it right wing. Brewer, Amert, and they're passing it around the outside as they should here, using more clock. Brewer with 10 to shoot now. They can start to go. Dugood to the left wing. Murphy inside. Amert tipped out of bounds by Wooster. 5 seconds on the shot clock. A 13-point game. And even if you don't score here, you've done the job to at least run some time off of the clock. Burns, going to be a tough shot in the paint, no good. Rebound collected by Wooster. 30 seconds go by though. Pass into the left corner. Back to the left wing now. Francis drives into a jump ball, and that's going to be Capital basketball as they won that possession earlier, or gave Worcester possession earlier. Mentioned in the last few minutes, you always want that arrow, and it comes into play again. 61-48, still our score. Cap can take another 30 seconds off the clock here. Worcester has 2 fouls to give, and honestly, don't know if they really want to start fouling yet, but it is going to be 5 possessions at least to come back. So if you do the math there, they can play defense for a few of those. They're going to have to start fouling probably next possession. Burns misses the shot. Duguid with the rebound. Passes. Amert. Put back no good. Off of Capital. And yes, that's a high percentage shot, but Coach Jeffers asking why was that not kicked out. I agree. You can run another 30 off the clock or at least get fouled. Cap thought they had an easy bucket, and it was a good look. You can't deny that, but it doesn't lead to points. Now, Brewer with this steal. I think they're going to get Amert for the foul. It is on Brook. Capital had 1 to give, so a reset to 20 on the shot clock. Partial reset. And 1:23 left to play in the game. Wooster needs a quick basket. Holloway drives in to the corner. Francis, 3-ball. It's good. 61-51. You've got a foul here if you're Cap. Or if you're Wooster. Goes to the freshman Murphy. They are not fouling. And Cap's going to take this thing under 40 seconds with a 10-point lead. I think I would have fouled earlier. Burns from behind the free throw line, and you give up that kind of a shot, you might as well foul. Burns picks up points number 24 and 25. And Cap seemingly has this one under control, 63-51. Worcester did get to within 6, but Capital withstood that push and put together a strong fourth quarter. 3-ball from Stanton, no good. Rebound, Kritz left it short. English steps out, and with 30 seconds left, this one is over. Capital holds Worcester to just 9 points here in the fourth quarter. If that stands, it would be 2 quarters in which Worcester failed to hit 10 points. And Worcester will let the clock run out as Brewer will dribble it out. Capital comes away victorious here in this one, 63-51. Handoff dribble to Murphy. And why not give it to Emma to let her finish this one out? She gives it off to her fellow senior Amert. Back to Burns. Back to Amert, and that'll do it. 4 seconds. Amert will hold on for the last seconds. Capital starts the season the right way with a 1-0 victory over Worcester. Let's take a quick timeout and come back with our post-game statistics. So 63-51 our final. Jimmy Bloomfield here from the Capitol Center. We thank you for tuning in. And it was a successful one for Capital in this one. Going through the team statistics first, Capital out rebounding Worcester 34-33, 26 defensive rebounds and 8 offensive for Capital. 23 defensive, 10 offensive for Worcester. Capital had 17 assists on their 25 made shots by 8 different players. 4 different players had at least 3. 11 assists on the other side for Worcester. 13 turnovers to 11. Capital wins the turnover battle as well. Points in the paint, 30 points for Capital, 14 for Worcester. Fast break points went 15-6 in favor of Cap. And points off turnovers, 14-11 in favor of Capital. Individually, leading the way was Emma Burns. 10 of 18 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 25 points in 35 minutes played. Had just 1 turnover. Amert had 9 points and 4 rebounds. Duguid 8.7 rebounds. Flock with 9 points. All came early for her, the freshman. 1.3 assists as well. Murphy filled up the sheet with 3 steals, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and 4 points. Brewer with 4 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds off the bench as well. And a block, assist, 3 rebounds, and 4 points from Maddie Reese. Cyphers played 7 minutes, had 4 rebounds, and Aaron Burns, with an assist in 4 minutes played today. For the Worcester side of things, Chris was their leading rebounder with 6. She played 36 minutes, only got 1 point though. Francis and Holloway each had 12. Francis had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 points for Holloway. English added 6, Stanton 4, Bircher had 6 off the bench, Dosher had 6, and Thor had 4 as well off the bench for Wooster. Overall shooting, Wooster was just 21 for 59, 35%. Capital 25 for 54, 46%. Both teams not great from 3. Wooster 4 for 17, Capital 4 for 14, 28 and 23%. But again, Emma Burns had 3 of those 4 for Capital. And free throw line, Capital did clean it up a little bit. Shot just 56% from the line, though 9 of 16. Wooster was 5 for 8 at 62%. So Capital comes away with the victory, their first win of the season in their first game, 1-0, and a chance to go 2-0 their next time out, which will be here on Saturday before a big road trip. So let's go through the upcoming schedule here. On Saturday, they play Illinois Wesleyan here at 4 o'clock, and then they head to the road for 4 straights before OAC play. At Calvin, a very good team, over in Michigan on November 20th. On the 22nd, they'll play Alma, also in Michigan. They'll play Washington and Jefferson in PA on the 27th. November 30th, they play at Wittenberg in Springfield. And then OAC play starts up on December 4th, Saturday, against Otterbein. So we hope you stay tuned in at athletics.capital.edu. But so far, so good for men's and women's basketball. Both teams starting off 1-0. And we wish both teams great luck this weekend as Capital travels on the men's side for 2 games over in Pennsylvania. And for the women, again, they play Illinois Wesleyan here at 4 o'clock at the Capital Center. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you all season here. Live from the Capital Center, signing off. A 63-51 victory, Capital over Wooster.